Hi, my name is Trent Alexander, and this is my wife, Dr. Stacy Alexander.
And together with our children, we've written The Balancing Act. It's a great family guide talking about some real life principles on raising your family. One of the things that we have been blessed with, my mom lives with us, right? And it wasn't planned when we got married. That wasn't planned. But when she moved in, one of the things that she came to me and said while I was cooking was that she appreciated the peace in the household. That she had never known peace like that. And I hadn't really considered that growing up with her. I knew that our household wasn't peaceful, but I never considered that she grew up in a household that wasn't peaceful. And so it was almost foreign to her what we were doing here. Right? And it wasn't always peaceful and harmonious for us. It took us some time to really learn how to get along because I'm a firecracker and you're stubborn and and so you're stubborn and I'm stubborn.
Want to make sure.
I'm stubborn, but I am vocally stubborn, and you're like, see, I can't say anything.
I'm a silent.
You shut down. Yeah.
I didn't want to put it like that, but I'm silent in I'm methodical in my thinking.
It is not that deep. He's just silent. It ain't methodical, nothing. I'm more vocal. He's more. You shut down. And so one of the things that we talk about in the book is harmony in the household and how to achieve that harmony. So what do you think?
I think it became apparent to me early in the marriage that we were potentially going to be that couple. If we didn't watch out, we could always kind of be in this kind of tug of war. And how were we going to bring some peace into our life? And I think, of course, the kids coming along, Chance and Taylor, kind of helped bring us down and give us a foundation to wanting to create some more peaceful harmony. And I'll be honest with you, when I grew up, my mom and dad were not together, and I had said to Stacy years ago that I didn't want to have a household where there was tension, where there was fighting and there was argument, just because physically it didn't feel good for me.
And I remember us having that conversation too, me just telling Trent, I don't want a household where the kids are walking around on eggshells, like the daddy is mad, so the whole house shuts down. And so we just had a really frank conversation over, I'm sure, many situations, not all at one time, that we came to this conclusion. But we had those discussions because we remembered what we experienced growing up, and we didn't want to go through that.
And so we came up with little creative things in order to still communicate through the tough situations, because that's the hardest part. Either I'm going to be silent, I'm going to stuff everything I'm feeling, which makes me bitter, or I'm going to explode and let everything out, which makes me feel better, but it puts the other person at odds. So years ago, we created a system of communication by writing in 2 different notebooks. Stacy had a little book, I had a book.
Why was my book little? I'm just saying.
I don't.
You said Stacy had a little book. Why was my book?
We both had we both had the same size book.
I'm just wondering.
Was not demeaning or putting her
that's
books
what
down.
It sounded like.
But I understand what she said. So we both had books, and we would write entries into one another's book on our day, or what we thought was said or should have been said. And it was a great way for us to not scream and yell over conflict,
disagreement.
So you can't write and yell. You can write hard, but unless you hear the person's voice, you don't know. And so that was a way for us to do that. She would read hers at night, I would read mine, and then we would respond the next day on what we read. I apologize, that was not my intentions. Forgive me. Or we would just say, hey, I love you. Some nights was, I love you.
Yeah, sometimes it was simple, because we weren't arguing all the time, but it was just a way to open up the communication.
And we still have those books today, so if we want to go back.
Where are they?
Oh, well, you don't have your book.
I'm sure I had. I thought you had them in the same place.
I got my book.
Did mine have to be in the same place?
I don't think yours is with mine. Mine is downstairs, but it's a great way to look back on things that you were looking at and going through and say, oh, thank God we made it through where we are now. So part of that harmony was finding little ways to communicate through those tensions.
And the kids have benefited from the harmony.
Yes.
So even though we both have these really high energy personalities where we're both opinionated, they get to see us having these disagreements, but not the explosiveness
Yes,
of it.
yeah.
Because we think that's part of our role in teaching them about life is that you will have disagreements with people. It doesn't mean that everything has to fall apart.
Exactly.
And so we were very intentional about that.
Yeah.
Tell them how we worked with the kids on solving conflicts and getting along with one another. Yeah.